Hi, my name is Ramiro Méndez, and I'm going to talk about the Red Square in Moscow, Russia. And so here we go. Well, for some historic context, this was made in the late 15th century, and it is located in Moscow, as I said, and it is an open public plaza that became a central marketplace and meeting place, in those years. And as the years passed by and history went on, it basically became even more important for the country, and it became almost like a landmark for it. So here is this location. As you can see, it's here in the I can't point, but it's there where it says Plaza Roja, and so it's basically like at the center of Moscow, kind of. And it's like I said, it's a meeting place. It's a place where a lot of people go for tourism, and it's like one of the landmarks of the city and of Russia in general. And it has a lot of things to offer and a lot of places to go that are nearby or directly in it. So, well, um, for some cultural and ideological meaning of this structure, it basically means power and authority because of the proximity to the Kremlin, and it makes it kind of a symbol of political power. And it also represents the communist symbolism, since Lenin's mausoleum reinforces the square's role as a site of political and ideological um, reassurance and remembrance. And also, the color red is strongly associated with communism. Fun fact, red in Old Russian meant beautiful, so it can also mean like beautiful, beautiful square or beautiful plaza instead of just like red square. But yeah, as the years went by, red became strongly associated with Russia and with this communist movement. So it is now like more associated with this type of definition. And also it represents the national identity, as the square cell, like I said, serves as a symbolic center of Russia, both geographically and ideologically, since all of the things are nearby. And it also represents a bit of tradition versus revolution, since um, since as we can see in this image to the right, this is Lenin's mausoleum. It's sort of an ideological and political standpoint, since Lenin was a big figure in the 20th century, and basically reinforced the communist movement and all of its ideas. And well, in contrast, because in the Red Square, not so far away, I think they are actually like really, really close, these two structures. Is St. Basil's Cathedral, which is the image on the left. It's one of the most iconic landmarks and places to visit in Russia, I would say. And it's like I said, it comes more of a religious standpoint in a religious place, and it well basically kind of clashes with this idea of like revolution and new ideas and communism, and trying to make it the country a better place in a way, into and clashes with this religious way of viewing things that maybe was more present in the past, but now not so much. So this clash makes it um more palpable, this sort of feeling like, um in a way, the country and all of this part of Moscow and part of the city um, has like transition time and has become this not only important part of the city which represented the religious part, but also this type of new ideas and the revolution and all of the stuff that I just kind of basically said. And uh, there's no images of this, but alongside this are the crumbling walls and towers, and it also means like the military strength, defense, and durability of Russia, and its enduring power of the Russian state, like how they like to be viewed. Its red brick material and merlons sometimes evoke both medieval and Soviet aesthetics, suggesting continuity from the communist power and its rulers. And also this Spasskaya Tower is a symbol of official time, ritual, and state's control over history and destiny. Like I said, the St. Cathedral is the striking counterpoint because it's organic, colorful, and this it has like this unique architecture. It's almost like based in fantasy or something straight out of a movie, more like maybe even like Alice in Wonderland, because of its unique style and way of how it was made, and its symmetry and ornamentation connote heavenly Jerusalem, a sacred cosmic center tying the square to the divine order. And well, I'm gonna go a bit into Lenin's mausoleum. It's based more on the center of the red square, so it's a bit more of like um an s- an strategical and important point of the city, since it is more like in the center. So talking more about proxemics, obviously Lenin and in his regime and how he wanted to view politics and how he wanted to run Russia and run the country, made it specifically to seem like a very important place, and like try to give it its assembly and importance and relevance. So like people would say like, oh, this is like one of the big things here, and we should respect it, and we should respect Lenin and all of like his ideas of communism. Like I just said, it's pretty minimalistic. Its stepped pyramid sharp lines signify modernity, rationalism, scientific socialism, and we can see all that in the image. Uh, its most predominant colors are black and red, which are like how it was made, the black and red stone, and they suggest eternity and blood, fusing death, sacrifice, and immortality. And well, like I said, its position, especially since we have to have into account that is really close um, to Saint Basil's Cathedral. It's used like basically like placing a materialistic doctrine where once only God reigned, and when it was only like religion was like the main thing about the country, and now it wasn't. It was more of like its ideas and how it basically transformed into one of the big countries in the world, especially after the First and Second World War. So all of this all of this is was to say that the structures of the Red Square signify power, memory, and national identity. All of can be seen, like I said, in these images. And as I was um, picking up the structures that I wanted to like review and see in this presentation and in this project, um, I didn't know that the Red Square was like a big thing. Well, I thought that it was like only, like it only covered these two, Lenin's mausoleum and St. Basil's Cathedral. But I discovered that there's a lot more. There's a lot more in the Red Square, but these two are basically the most important, and that's why I wanted to cover them the most. Um, and like I said, the architectural forms of these two express like Russia's complex layering of religious and imperial, revolutionary, and commercial identities. Since, like you said, it's always been a big part of Russian culture. Since it was used like as a social meeting place and a place for markets, like a marketplace. And so the squares like very geometry functions as a stage for the performance of state authority. And well, yeah, um, it's just that I don't know what this is, but yeah, this was only to, I think, I went a bit too much in the other structures, but yeah, this was only to like reinforce this Russian myth of like structures, like they are all very red, and like I said, they signify this like a state of communism and blood and sacrifice and all of these principles and ideas that Russia wants to be associated with normally. And so all of these structures and buildings, and especially, like I said, the Red Square, which is this really big thing in the middle of Moscow, try to represent is one of the most iconic and important places of Russia. So it has to be accompanied by a lot of structures that really signify that and that really make it seem like this important place that not only has it converted into this like political and sociological standpoint for everyone to see around the world, but it was also like this religious um, place where people gathered to, like praise God and all of this stuff. But in time, it became this. Uh, well, I think I'm being too like um, I think I'm remarking a lot of ideas, but yet um, all of this to say that the Red Square is really important for the culture in Russia, and it was then and it has been now. So I think it's really interesting. I really liked the topic, and especially those two that I talked the most about, Lenin's Mausoleum and St. Basil's Cathedral, because well, personally, I like history a lot. So it was really fun to investigate a bit more about these two places. And so, yeah, thank you. And I hope you like the presentation, and I'll see you around.